Why are you a real estate agent?
It's a great question. Originally, it.
Is it really a great question?
I mean, it's a good question.
I think it's a classic.
It's a decent question.
It's a
classic question.
It's a masterpiece.
Brilliant. I'd say originally it was an escape plan. I used to produce film, and I had a series of movies that, like at the 5-yard line, died back to back to back in 2018 into 2019. And so I was in Paris location scouting when this specific film died, and I missed my flight back to LA. And I realized, why am I like dashing back to LA to deliver terrible news to my investors as quickly as possible?
Yeah.
So rather than, it was the last direct flight to LA, so I decided to go to Iceland.
Nice.
Took a solo trip for 5 days, cooled out, and I was like, I need to make some changes in my life. Need to get out of this business. But I didn't know where I was going to go. And I thought, okay, I know I can sell. What should I sell?
Yeah.
And the commission on houses is pretty good.
Yeah.
So I decided to get my real estate license. And very quickly, timing was great. Had success pretty early. And then I realized I actually love selling homes. Like I really enjoy the process. And then it became a career. But it was never, in college, I had a friend who was getting into real estate. And I was like, dude, that sounds terrible. And here I am.
You cooled out in Iceland, though. That's
I
amazing.
Did.
How was that?
It was the summer. It was the summer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was incredible. I mean, the sun basically doesn't set. It sets for like an hour.
Yeah.
In July. So I was super solo. Of course, I know nobody in Iceland. So I had nobody to talk to.
What are people of Iceland called?
Icelanders, I think.
Yeah, I think it's Icelanders.
Icelanders. Nice.
So did you rent a car? Did you do like a whole?
I did they have a Game of Thrones tour on a bus.
Oh,
so I booked that.
sick.
That was like 2 days or 3 days. They took us to the Blue Lagoon, and I just chilled out solo in a fjord, just like getting really quiet with myself. I was like, I need to make some changes.
Nice.
It was I knew I was coming back to some. I was the one delivering the bad news.
Yeah,
So I knew the
the
response
producer.
was going to be terrible.
But this was right before COVID, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting. So what was that like? Because you transitioned into a different career, and the whole world shut down.
The whole entertainment industry shut down.
Shut down
for like
too.
18 months.
Right.
So if I had stayed, I would have been in terrible shape.
Yeah.
But because real estate picked up massively in 2020. I mean, timing was, for a couple months, there was a lot of fear. But after the rates dropped, it was like gangbusters. And
People are going in.
Everyone's going in. Everyone's looking to buy. It was almost free money. My friends were buying houses, and life was good.
Yeah.
What's the difference between selling a movie and selling a house? Is there a difference? Because you said selling is selling at the end of the day.
Yes. So when you sell a movie, usually what you do is you go into a studio, let's say Universal, and you've got, sometimes the earliest stage, it's a pitch. So you're selling an idea with the writer, maybe with the director, and you're telling a story for like an hour. And these are executives who are paid to say no. If they say yes and buy your pitch, and they buy enough pitches that are failed movies or never hit, they lose their job.
Yeah.
So they're paid to say no. But we would go in there and get them to say yes very, very frequently. Very cold room, very tough sale, like really, really tough sale.
Yeah.
In real estate, I'm walking into a house with a seller who actually generally wants to sell. And so it's a warm room. They might not know if they want to sell with me, but they do want to sell. So I'll sit down with them, ask I interview them actually. What I like to do is I interview them. And see because I don't really just want to work with anybody. If you work with the wrong person, there's somebody today who I decided I don't want to work with, and they just texted me right before I came in here, and they're like, "Would you like to talk?" And I think to myself, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I do not want to talk to you.
Why didn't you want to work with them?
They seem emotionally unstable.
Okay.
Very difficult to deal with. really strong opinions, and in my experience with them, their opinion is the one that counts. Like they're not really listening to your opinion. And when I meet with a seller, like every owner potential listing is a potential business partner.
Right.
So I don't want to have that person as a business partner at all.
Do you want to name drop them or?
Yeah. What's the listing address?
First name's Nicole, and it might be that that address that I just told you earlier.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't know. I feel like most people are emotionally unstable.
Speak for yourself,
Yeah, I
brother.
think so. Like you're probably one of the most normal real estate agents I've met. Like
thanks.
real estate agents usually are very like, you know, like they're locked in, laser focused, and they can come off as like very standoffish, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though their job is to be nice, but you know.
Totally. That's why there's not a lot of competition, to be honest. Like
Interesting.
I do feel like a lot of agents are really serious, sometimes kind of sharky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snaky. Yeah.
Snaky. Yeah. Suited
Yeah.
up usually.
Yeah. I
Like if
noticed
somebody
that.
like that knocked on my door, I remember the first time somebody like that did knock on my door. I didn't own the house, but they knocked on the door. They're like, "Hey, you know, I'm so and so. Would you consider selling?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I don't even own this place. I can't sell it." And he's like, "Well, do you think the owner would be interested in selling?" And I was like, "No." And they're like, "Take my card." I'm like, "No." Like,
You're the renter. Why
Yeah.
would you do that?
exactly.
Yeah.
Take my card anyways.
Yeah,
They were
just
that desperate.
Yeah, they're just like, "Take my card, take my card," and I was just like, "Wow, this guy's really bad at his job." Like,
Yeah.
just, I don't.
I never understood that. Why do people want to force a sale? Like, I mean, it's pretty obvious out there, right? It's sales is for people. The best salesman is the one that has a warm client coming in.
Yeah.
If you're forcing it, it's like you're exerting your energy in the places that it shouldn't be exerted. If that makes sense. So yeah, so there's this dude that has been trying to get my dad to sell our house for the last 10 years. 10 years. And like every 3 or 4 months, he will come leave a note on our door saying, "Hey, I know I've been reaching out, but you know, if you are looking to sell the house, please call me." And I'm like, "Bro, chill. You're still thinking about our house for 10 years?"
That's wild.
Right?
That's crazy.
I don't know what the logic is. Is he going on every single person's house in the neighborhood every 3 or 4 months, or is there like targets?
I don't know who this person is,
Yeah.
but I would bet he's probably going to everybody's house
and
every
doing
3-4
that.
months. Yeah.
Because that's just like, dude, how? But he's leaving a whole pad. He's leaving a whole
Wow.
like notepad, not just
Interesting.
one note.
Wow.
So I'm like,
He's
okay.
generous.
Yeah, he's very generous.
What do you do to reach people?
So what I like to do is, so you've got your sphere of influence, the people that you hang out with, socially, in work, etc., people who know you. I liked, rather than go, like that guy is going wide and shallow. He's going through the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
He probably knows nobody. Does he have a relationship with your dad?
No.
Of course not.
Yeah.
So,
So these are notepads. Yeah. I've been using your notepads for
There's a
10 years.
picture of him on the notepad.
so that's wide and shallow. I like to go narrow and deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I have like actual real relationships with people, like my friends.
Yeah.
People who know, like, and trust me, who think of me first. And then I do generous things for those people. Take them out for lunches, dinners, coffees. You know, I do several times a year, I'll do events and I'll invite those people. And there will be like a masseuse at the event, or a tarot card reader, or it's like a pickleball thing, or it's a dinner and there's a DJ and there's a bar, whatever.
I want to be your friend.
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
Exactly. Everybody wins.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And then they think of me first. And so like, even if somebody has a real estate question, they'll call me first. And I'm like, cool, here's the answer. If you have any other questions, let me know. And then usually what happens is X number of months or a couple years down the line, they're like, hey, you know, my mom's considering selling. Would you talk to her? Yeah, no problem. I'd rather, like, I don't like leave notes on strangers' doors or like mail random people.
Okay.
But these people that I'm talking about, I will, like, I'll send them, I'll do mailers, but they're like comedic. Like I'll create, like what I started doing is creating like fake magazines. Like one of them's called the Malibu Sun. And it's like, I've got my graphic designer. We put together a whole magazine cover, fake articles, picture of me. I had a friend who's like a pretty successful model. She got one. She didn't realize it's not a magazine, a fake magazine. So she hits me up. She's like, "Congratulations, you got the cover."
The Malibu Sun.
The Malibu Sun.
That means it works.
It works. And so like they'll take pictures of it like on their mantle or like in their car, and they're like, "Legendary, bro," or like whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll get various postcards from random realtors, some I know, some I don't know, and they're terrible. It's just like, hey, it's like a picture of me and my mom.
Standard.
A bunch of houses.
Yeah.
But
like what I want to do is I want people to I want people to stop and like pay attention. So like comedy will do that, shock value will do that.
100%.
Like the next one I'm sending out in about a week is going to be like 14 or like 14 billion sold or something like that, which of course I have not sold 14 billion. And there'll be like an asterisk.
Smart, yeah.
You know, and people are like, "Oh." So yeah, I feel like comedy helps.
So it's also though a lot of relationship building. That's all of it.
That's all of it. That's all of it. Yeah. You have to be able to do your job, negotiate, no contracts, obviously, but it's a game of constant lead generation, so it's a game of like real relationships. And then if you do really good work, they trust you, then they will come back to you.
Yeah.
And then you just rinse and repeat. Keep doing that over and over and over again.
And they'll all be warm leads eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully. Right?
Hopefully.
Right.
Yeah.
What's it like dealing with rich people though when they sell a house? Because I mean, rich people are a pain regardless. But you know, like, what do you do to make them feel comfortable? Because I feel like a lot of them are concerned because the property value is so high, and they've put all their life savings, a lot of them, into the house. They're concerned about the future. So how do you deal with the egos of like wealthy clients?
So in my experience, there's a full like spectrum of personalities. So I've dealt with people who are like super, multi-billionaires and pretty chill. And like, I don't really deal with them much. I'll deal with the business manager, or I'll deal with the attorney and the executive assistant who like runs their whole life. Sometimes I'll deal directly with the owner, and the owner is really high maintenance, really difficult to deal with, but it's a very expensive home. And so I'll say to myself, okay, at this price point, I'm willing to deal with this.
I'm willing to suck it up, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's somebody who's, a very successful self-made person, and if there's enough reciprocal between us, it's cool. And they're just like, hey, I know you know what you're doing. I trust you. Tell me the plan. Either sounds great or like, let's do this instead. And then it's a collaboration, and I'm very cool with that. If it's a top-down thing, and they're kind of like, hey, this is my $20 million house. I'm the boss. This is how it's going to be. Sometimes I will say, it's a real pleasure knowing you, and I want to let you know that all the work that I've done up to this point is a gift to you, and I'm happy to introduce you to somebody else who's a better fit. And sometimes they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, this is not really working for me, but I know this other person who might really be good for you. And sometimes they're shocked. Sometimes they're pissed.
Are you breaking up with me? Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Why are you leaving me in the middle of this transaction?
Yeah. I'll never do it in the middle of escrow. But like,
of course. Yeah. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Your money's coming.
Yeah.
So you really value the people you work with, because a lot of agents, it's just like a digit. So they'll deal with all the BS as long as the 2.5% or whatever it is comes in. Interesting.
Yeah, because not every house is an easy sale. So you might spend a lot of time, sometimes a lot of money, marketing and getting something ready. And if it's ultimately it doesn't sell, that's sucks.
Yeah.
But also, I want to be, when I first started, I was basically saying yes to everybody because I needed to make money and figure this game out. Now I'm much more selective because again, especially at the higher end, there are not a lot of buyers for very, very, very expensive homes. There are very, very few buyers. So those are the homes that are the most expensive to market, take the longest to sell, good chance they won't sell. So I want to surround myself with people. Also, I do my best work when someone really appreciates me. So if somebody's like, thank you so much, or like I can tell the way their children respond to me that the parents love me. Those people, I'll do whatever. Like if there's an emergency at 4 a.m., hit me up. If somebody, really is just a piece of work, like Nicole, I will be referring them to somebody else.
That's nice that you do that, because a lot of people are just like, fuck off or something. Yeah.
Well, you have to do that to grow, right? I think the people at the top, they're complacent. So once you have options, you become complacent, and then you will naturally lose people. But if you're at the top and you're not complacent, you're just gonna grow, right? I do have a question for you. Are you a broker?
No.
Okay.
Just a realtor. Just
Realtor.
An agent. Yeah.
Do you want to become one?
No. I mean,
I've heard a lot of agents.
What's the difference for people watching between a broker and a realtor?
So there's a different license. Like after you've been a realtor for 2 years, you can apply to get your broker's license. It's a different test. It's a little bit longer. And once you have your broker's license, you could start your own brokerage if you wanted to. I'm with Compass. I love the company. The tech's great. And so I'm totally comfortable giving a small chunk of my fee to Compass. The broker takes all the liability. So if I've never personally been sued in real estate, but if there's an issue during a transaction, the brokerage gets sued first. And so for me, I just don't want to be sued, and I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. Like, because even if it's not your fault, even if I had a situation recently where I helped a client buy a house, we got him a phenomenal deal, like truly, really, really good deal. I even got the listing agent to kick up money to make the deal happen. So I know it was the best deal that was possible, because no agent's going to give up money unless they have to. I can say that from personal.
Right. Yeah. It's your commission. Yeah.
It's your commission. Yeah. So got them a great deal. 6 months pass. A neighbor tells him, and we did every test possible. We did like 10 inspections, like way more than normal. A neighbor told him months later, hey, something about this water main breaking and flooding several homes in the block. Well, we found out that the basement of this home was flooded. We had done all the testing, and that was the only place that actually was damp. So made sense. This buyer's dad is extremely wealthy and litigious, and he hired a lawyer. And my buyer, who wasn't really a friend but was a friend of a friend, was like, "Hey, really sorry, but they're going to sue the listing agent's broker, and they're going to bring you and your broker into it." And I was like, "What?" So I called the head person who handles compliance and stuff, and I was like, "Hey, here's the situation. I've never talked to the seller. I don't represent the seller. I don't even have it's an LLC. I don't even know what their names are. I don't have their contact info. Never had any conversations with them."
Right.
So I, of course, I had no idea that this was an issue. The listing agents might have. They really might have. I don't know. The main broke like 6 months before we bought it, and they owned it for a year. So definitely they owned it for a short time. They were flippers. Of course, the sellers knew for sure. I don't know if the listing, anyway, we ended up they were like playing chicken, and we were just like, okay, Compass was like, cool. You want to take us to court? They didn't, because they didn't have a case. But if they did, and I was the broker, that would be a big issue, because even if it would just, I don't
time out of your life.
It's more headache. Yeah,
more
headache. There's more headache.
Yeah.
So what else does Compass provide you besides the compliance and legal stuff?
So Compass, it's office space. It's the big thing is tech. So Compass spent over $1 billion building this tech platform where most agents use MLS to do searches,
right,
etc.
What is the MLS for some people?
Multiple listing service. So basically, any market in the United States has generally a different multiple listing service where all the active listings are, all the available homes, etc. Zillow pulls all this information from MLS. So consumers can check out Zillow and say, okay, Los Angeles, Venice, these are the homes available, etc. All of that is fed from the MLS. And agents pay the MLS dues every year to be a part of the MLS. There's this thing called clear cooperation, where all active listings are shared with all agents who are members of MLS. So nothing's secret. Now Compass has its own platform where we can look at certain off-market properties. We can look at anything that's on the MLS. Of course, you can do a transaction start to finish on this tech platform. You can build collections for clients. So let's say I've got this client, he's looking for a $5 million home in these neighborhoods, and I've got these 15 homes saved on his collection. He can access it and put notes in there and say, I love this home, hate this home. This would be great if we could do this.
Makes your life easier. Got it.
So much easier. And then I can also route tours on that. So I set up a tour off the collection, these 4 homes, these times, and then the tech will route the tour in the best way possible. And then I can send that via PDF, and it looks like I've done a ton of work, and I've done some work, but not that much.
Tech, yeah. Did they help you give leads as well, or?
Nah.
Okay.
No.
Most brokerages won't give you leads.
Yeah.
And how much percentage do they charge you off your commission?
I'm an open book, so my split is 86.5%.
So they keep.
That's a good split for you.
It's a good split.
13
It's a great split.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's usually like 70-30.
Yeah.
Nice. That's worth it.
It's totally worth it for me, 100%. Because also we have Compass. The other thing, I mean, there's a lot of other things, but one of the things it's called, this is going to become an ad for Compass.
Yeah. They're going to clip this up. Yeah.
It's called Compass Concierge, where Compass will, let's say I went to a home today, there's mold in the home. That's going to be a big issue. No buyer wants to buy a home with mold. Now, how much does it cost to remediate the mold? I don't know. Maybe 30 grand, something like that. Let's say the seller doesn't want to pay that or doesn't have that. My suggestion always is let's not list a house that has mold. There are going to be major issues. So Compass will pay up front up to about $40,000 for anything. It could be redoing the kitchen, could be painting the house.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. 0% interest, and then they get paid upon close of escrow. So certain things like that will help agents like me get the listing because, it's like it's a credit card. It's a big plus.
Right. It's like a black card.
It's a black card, yeah.
That's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And including staging. Compass will also pay for staging up front. And usually almost 100% of the time, homes that are staged sell for more than homes that have like 1970s furniture in them.
Right. As is, yeah.
I found about this crazy stat recently. It says 70% of real estate agents sell 0 homes in a calendar year. Yep. Why do you think this is? 70%. It's an insane statistic.
Why even get your license if you're not trying?
I would say there are definitely part-time realtors out there for sure.
Right.
There are also, when I first joined, when I first got my license, started selling homes, there was this amazing lender. Her name's Sheila Berger at Wells Fargo. Incredible lender. I still do a lot of business with her. She took me out for dinner, and I was kind of nervous. I was a few months into the business. I had done a couple deals, but wasn't really making big money. Mm-hmm. Took me out to this really nice place in Beverly Hills, and I was thinking I wonder what the bill's gonna be like. And she's like, "Don't worry, this is on me." And I was like, "Cool." She was like, "How'd you get into real estate?" I told her the story, and she starts laughing. She's like, "Most people get into real estate because they failed at everything else, and they're like, I guess I might as well go into real estate now." Yeah. So usually,
really, is that right?
I mean,
do you find that true?
I definitely see people who have bounced around and haven't really had success, and then have an idea that real estate is easy, get a license, and then they're not good at it.
Yeah,
and that's
interesting.
Pretty common.
Okay.
So I'm not super surprised, to be honest.
Right.
That 70% sell 0 homes.
0 homes. Yeah.
I can't believe that stat. That is insane.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Well, I
yeah.
know there's more realtors out there than homeowners now. Something like that.
Yeah.
There's some crazy
What?
stuff.
I
Yes,
mean-
it's like what the hell in the country?
Yeah.
In the country,
Homeowners.
it's like yeah.
How many realtors do you think there are in America?
In California, it's less than 1 million, I believe, but it's like hundreds and hundreds of thousands.
Oh, it's less than 1 million?
I
But
believe
California
so.
alone, that's a lot.
No, that's a lot. But
Yeah.
I thought it was. To be honest, I thought it was more. But okay.
You know what? I might be thinking LA County. I think LA County has 400,000. I think.
Oh my God, 400,000.
There's a
Yeah.
lot in the U.S., bro. There's just
Yeah.
so many.
That's like 5%
Yeah.
of LA County population.
There's a lot in the U.S., dude. It's like it's unreal. And the thing is, it's not like the process to become a real estate agent. It's not like grueling, but it's definitely extensive.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
it's
you
like
got-
120 hours you have to put into it.
Yep.
And then you have like 4 tests, right? One for each course, and then
Yep.
the final exam.
Totally.
It's like,
How long does it take though to become an agent?
how long take you?
I mean, what I was have you ever heard of modafinil?
No.
It's like a less toxic Adderall.
Okay.
So I started taking modafinil a few times a week,
Okay.
studying for like a few hours a day. The funny thing is, so I started studying, then I sold this movie to Amazon, and I passed those 3 tests.
Okay.
Started doing this movie, which then it was an Amber Heard movie that ended up dying right before production.
Right.
Then I
I wonder why.
that's exactly why nobody would work with her
Yeah.
at the perfect time. I was furious. And then I jumped back in. I did a 2-week like crash course, and then I took the test.
Okay.
If I had done everything, like if I did it as quickly as I could, I probably could have done it in like 4 months and then taking the test in like 6 months or less.
Yeah.
But it took me a year plus because I took time off.
You took, yeah, I
yeah.
gotcha. It took, so I did it while I was in college. This is like, I was like laser focused. I was literally taking 28 units that semester,
Wow.
including real estate.
Okay. that's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot, dude. Like after class, I would go back to the dorm and I'll just walk. It was CE Shop. Have you heard of that CE Shop? So it's like some online course basically.
Oh, I think I took that.
You took
I
that?
Think,
CE Shop? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah.
It was pretty good. I mean, I passed the
Yeah.
exam on the first go, so it was great. But I did that for 3 months, and then I finished, and I was going to take the exam, and that's when COVID hit. It was literally the week COVID hit, the second week of March or first week of March, COVID hit, and then it was like, oh, it's
They like suspended.
they suspended the
Yeah.
exams, and so I got the first one in June. So yeah. It was crazy, but you can finish like 3-4 months, but that's extensive, 3-4
Yeah.
months is
It is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time.
it's a lot of time.
sure.
It's not like the DMV test. You just take
No,
it
no, no.
once and
Right?
you become a
I
licensed
wish.
driver. Do you miss producing movies though? Because I feel like, I don't know, that sounds cooler. Respectfully.
It does sound cooler.
Yeah.
I would argue to say it was in the 90s. Like people aren't really going to the movies anymore.
Right.
So the money's not what it used to be, for sure. Studios are making just, big movies now. Like, I mean, you can do smaller independent films on Netflix.
You're not making money from them. Yeah.
You're not making money. So it's
Yeah.
like I had a mentor in film, this guy David Permit. He produced Face Off and some really awesome movies back in the day, and he was riding really, really high. And we used to have an office together, and we made 2 movies together, smaller films. And he would, towards the end, he was just like, hey, he's like, your job, it's not hard, it's impossible. He's like, it's never been this hard. It's impossible. It's a crazy business. He's like, you're lucky to be able, he's, in his 60s now. He's like, you're lucky to be able to get out of it. But I mean, there were some exciting, the parties are cool. Like going to the Cannes Film Festival is cool. Going to premieres and all the stuff's cool for sure. There are also a lot of nerds in film. It's not like, it's not like...
It's not as all Sydney Sweeney's like lying around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the most challenging part though? Was it the aspect of, like you said, there's a bunch of people there that are paid to say no?
Yeah.
Or was it making the film itself?
It was making the film.
Right.
So they say...
It was harder than getting it into the production company.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
There are so many different, like they say it's like archery. You're shooting an arrow through 100 windows that need to remain open at the same time. For real. There are
Yeah.
so many different
Hurdles, yeah.
steps, so many hurdles. It takes years. And even once you have, an incredible script that stands on its head, amazing director, massive actors, financing, distribution, you could still have a situation where you have an actor like Amber Heard who nobody will work with and the whole movie falls apart. Yeah. Or you could have a situation where an actor's getting a divorce. Or all of a sudden your lead actor just got this Marvel movie and he's not going to be available for 6 months. So you have to delay shooting for 6 months. Who knows what's going to happen in those 6 months?
It's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time.
So how do you get paid as a producer?
That's what sucks about it. You get paid when it gets made. You get paid in tranches. So like as soon as
if you option a script, right, you can get paid to option.
Not anymore.
Really?
No, when you're as a producer, so it used to be if you sold something to Universal and they option a script, the writer gets the option fee and the producer gets like 10% of what the option fee is. They're not doing that at all anymore. Now, I mean, what we used to do, like my company used to do the option, pay the writer the option. We would then control the script and the property, and we could do whatever we wanted. But it wasn't until a financier, until you had a start date, and then usually it was like 8 weeks of pre-production before the start date, that would trigger money, and then we would start to get, I think it was like 20% of the producer's fee in pre-production, 60% in production, and 20% in post-production.
Wow.
So you could work for 5-10 years.
Oh my God. And barely make anything. Yeah. How many movies were you able to produce
Only 2.
Wow.
And I sold like a dozen probably.
Okay. So what's the difference?
But I produced a bunch of TV as well.
So by selling, you mean like you sold scripts, right?
Yeah, like we would, it wasn't even a script. We would like pitch an idea to Sony.
They would own the rights to the idea.
They would cut a check. The writer would write it, deliver it. We'd do notes back and forth, and we would package it, bring a director on, start bringing on actors. Then we would pre-sell it to, a bunch of different distributors internationally, bring it to a film festival and do international sales and or just Universal would do the whole thing and they would make it themselves.
It's such a different world, like studio movie making, because we make films, but it's like short films and it's like indie stuff. Like we can just get a crew together, 10 of our friends, 15, like $5,000-$10,000 budget, and it's like we're not dealing with executives that are like no, know.
Yeah.
So
how do you get in the room?
Yeah. In front of those executives,
agents and relationships. I used to work at WME, William
of course.
Morris.
That was one of the biggest talent agencies in the world.
Helpful. Yeah.
You used to work for WME.
Yeah, that's why I moved to LA.
Okay.
You
started off as an agent.
Started in the mailroom, then as an assistant.
Right.
Yeah.
Classic start, huh? Wow.
Yeah, that's how everybody starts in those agencies. CAA.
Gotcha.
UTA, mailroom. Okay. Exactly. Interesting.
Yeah.
So you started there, and so it's all just relationship building. Then at the end of the day, you got to know people to get in.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know anybody at the agency. I like my dad's friend knew the manager of the Village People.
Okay.
And like he wrote a letter. I was still in college. He like wrote a letter, and that got me an interview. So I got an interview. Then
you're a nepo baby? No.
No, I mean I wish. That would have been amazing.
I'm joking.
Yeah. So they got me in the room, and then they do a series of testing, like grammar, typing, the whole thing.
Right.
And then if you pass those tests, then they interview you in person, and then blah 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 blah.
So even get in the mailroom, it's like
it was like
process.
I mean, I flew to New York. Went through a series of tests.
Got the best typer in town.
They called me back. The head of HR there looked at me and she's like, I don't think you would fit in here. She's like, maybe in the music department. And I was like, that's actually where I want to be.
Okay.
And she's looking through my resume and she's like, oh, you went to Tulane, which is where I went my freshman year. She's like, I went to Tulane. Hold on one second. So then she got me in front of this music agent. He and I got along. He was just like me. We got along great. I left a week later. I get a call from this other guy who's like the head of the music department. He asked me to come in. I was like, I'm no longer in New York. he was like, "You want a job in Miami?" And I was like, "No, I don't speak Spanish." He's like, "Well, there's nothing available in New York, but if you want to do all of the interviews over again, you can come to LA. We've got one slot open."
All the interviews again.
So I did it. I came all the way back to LA, did all the interviews over again. I wasn't. I had a cousin who knew agents, and she was like, "If you leave LA without getting a job offer, you will not get a job offer." So it happened to be the last day I was in LA, and I had earlier that year I booked the talent for this event in London called the World B-Boy Championships. Okay. It was at Wembley Arena, which is like Madison Square Garden in London. And we booked LL Cool J and Slick Rick and De La Soul and a bunch of old school hip hop artists. And Double XL magazine, I don't even know if they're around anymore.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Yeah.
They like help scout out like new rappers and stuff, right? Yeah.
It was like The Source and then Double XL.
Yeah.
They happened to do, I remember when I was there in London, I didn't really know what was going on, but this woman was like, "I'd like to ask you some questions." She was a journalist for Double XL magazine, and so they ended up doing a piece on the World B-Boy Championships, and I got quoted in it. This was like my last day in LA. My friend's like, "Did you read Double XL?" I was like, "No, I was not in a good mood." He's like, "You should get it." So I got it, and I'm like listed 3 times in the article. I was like, "Oh my God." So I highlighted it, and I went back into the agency, and I was like, boom. And then they were like, "Oh, this is cool." They were like, "Okay, well, we're going to now consider you a little more strongly."
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
Anyway.
for getting quoted in a magazine.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
now
trip,
you're on the
huh?
now you're on the Malibu Sun, man.
Now
you
you are the Malibu Sun.
are the Malibu Sun.
Yeah.
What?
That is hilarious.
I've always wondered because like we write a lot of scripts, and what's it like being in the room in front of those executives? Like, what are they looking for? Like to blow away their minds? Like you said, it's not in their interest to say yes, and it doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it helps you too, right? Because if they win, you win too, technically.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what do you do to stand out?
So a lot of the films that I was pitching, there were thrillers.
Mm-hmm.
So we came up with really, like, I feel like M. Night Shyamalan comes up with amazing twists that you don't see coming. So some of the films that we pitched had like pretty wild curveballs. I mean, one thing that helps is a writer who has already sold to the studio.
Right.
So they know, okay, this
Success,
guy,
yeah.
he can deliver, she can deliver and execute. We know the writer's capable. What's the idea? And then we would come up with an idea that was, sometimes it was like slightly based on true events. Sometimes it was based on, you know, a person in this writer's life or in my life. Sometimes it was completely fictional, but the concept was really interesting. Sometimes it was based on a book or an article. So really, we would start with something that we personally found really intriguing, and then we would, you know, create a structure around it, a 3-act structure, and we would make sure, and we would practice it enough so that it, in the room, was like kind of explosive. And so we definitely got a lot of no's for sure, but most of the, let's say for each of these projects, we would have like half a dozen pitches ish, like half a dozen different buyers.
Right.
And more often than not, I don't know exactly what the numbers were, but more often than not, we would sell to one of those buyers. Now, of all of those that we sold, virtually none of them got made, but checks were being cut, you know.
Yeah,
by
still
the
money in your
studios.
pocket. Yeah,
Okay. Money in the writer's pocket, unfortunately, not mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's only the writer.
only the writer,
And you walked out of that.
with $0.
Holy shit, bro.
When you were producing movies, though, did you actually care about the creative elements of the script, or at the end of the day, were you just, you know, was it? It's like you got to pay the bill somehow, right?
I was 100% invested in the creative elements.
You were, okay.
I really was, because that's really why I was doing it. I was looking at the money as like, what a great, like, that was very important to me too. But I knew I wouldn't get the money unless the creative was like phenomenal. And also I was more interested in an amazing story. Like, yeah, like I wasn't interested in just getting something made. I wanted to be proud of what was on the screen or on the page. Yeah. In real estate, it's not as creative. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely more money focused.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
In luxury real estate, there's a conception, I think, that buyers will just pay because they're of that scale, right? They're of that level where it's like, oh, okay, $4 million home, like that's just in the budget anyway, it doesn't matter. Do you find that true, or is there still nitpicking?
I find definitely nitpicking for sure.
More nitpicking, probably.
I mean, it really depends. I feel like it's buyer specific. Like
Okay.
sometimes you'll get a foreign buyer who doesn't really know the market that well, and this is not their primary house, and they're looking to just park money in U.S. real estate.
Okay.
And maybe it'll be a little bit smoother. Sometimes I'm in a negotiation right now. House is really nice, former celebrity owned house, not like incredible, but quite nice, in a really nice neighborhood. And we're like, we've already agreed to the price, we've agreed to the close date, we've agreed to almost every other term. We're there's a lease back, so we're figuring out what dollar amount both the seller and the buyer agree that the seller will pay to the buyer after we close escrow, because they're not moving out for a certain number of months. So we've agreed to basically pretty much everything. And today they were just like, okay, we want to talk about specific remediation you've done post fires. Like, what toxins have you tested? Like super specific. And just, that's pretty nitpicky.
That's pretty
you know
nitpicky,
what I mean? I get it, but it's pretty nitpicky. So I see everything. But I would say most buyers who are paying a good amount for something they're going to want to make sure that everything is
They still care.
They still care.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And how much do you think the market affects the luxury real estate market? Because you're dealing with a caliber of people who can afford it, probably with an up or down market. But in my opinion, I still think it affects the sell.
100%. Yeah.
Right?
I mean, one thing that's really, 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 the thing that's affected luxury the most is ULA, this mansion tax.
Okay.
So
I've heard of this.
Yeah, on homes, it originally started at homes and commercial buildings, 5 million and up.
Okay.
There's an additional 4% tax. Now, I can't remember his name. There's this LA Dodger who bought a house, let's say 2 years ago. I feel like he bought it for 7. He listed it for sale.
Yeah.
He's selling it for 6. So he's losing $1 million.
Yeah.
But since the sale is above 5, he still has to pay 4%
On the
for tax, which is, in my opinion, ridiculous. You've lost $1 million, now you're paying a tax? That's crazy. So a lot of sellers are not, and because the market has slowly been going down, not up. It's going to start going up now that rates are starting to drop.
Yeah.
But for the last 3 years, it's been like slowly going down. So a lot of sellers who are in LA are not, like, on the super high-end luxury, they're not selling their house because they don't, like, on a $10 million sale, they don't want to spend 4%. They don't
taxes, yeah.
That's crazy. So they're waiting until it hopefully gets repealed. So sales are down a lot in the luxury market.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And insurance has gone way up too.
And
post-fires.
to clarify, the 4% is on the sale of the property or the capital gains?
Just the full
6 mil.
Yeah. So he lost $1 million, and then he's paying
insane.
4% of $6 million.
That is insane.
In taxes.
So he's
which
in
is,
negative territory now.
yeah, way negative territory. That's, in my opinion, that's not fair at all. It's ridiculous.
So how did the fires affect your business?
A lot. I mean, I had a lot of clients who all of my escrows canceled a year ago. Because all my escrows were in Malibu and Topanga, unfortunately. So multiple. I had a $25 million. My client's $25 million home burned to the ground. They became homeless. I had multiple clients lose their homes. I had one client who lost their main home in the Palisades in the morning, and that night their beach house in Malibu burned. I had multiple friends who were renting houses in the Palisades and Topanga lose their homes, and in Malibu homes. I had clients who left and moved to Austin or went nomadic and just traveled the world for a while. Price of insurance went through the roof in those areas.
For all of SoCal, right?
Yeah, specifically
Fire
high
factor.
fire zones, like really, really, really high.
Yeah, I went to those neighborhoods, man, to help out, and
Nice.
it looks
Glad you
like
did that.
a world war happened. Like it looks like a bomb was dropped, and you're just like, what the heck is this? It's like pretty neighborhoods, but it's just like it looks like somebody dropped a bomb.
Nothing's there.
And it's been a year now. It's crazy how time flies. This was over a year ago.
And construction's barely starting. Like a month ago.
Yeah, well, so in the Palisades, I think in December, 90 building permits were approved, which is good.
Yeah.
I read a stat the other day that only 14 homes have been finished, by the start of this year, which is not a lot, obviously.
That's insane.
Because like 13,000 homes burned.
Wait, what do you mean? So only 14 homes were approved to be reconstructed?
Finished.
14 homes.
Homes.
Brand new homes as of the beginning of this month have been finished.
Okay.
Last month, 90 building permits in the Palisades were approved. So 90 new homes are being built now. I'm in the Palisades probably at least once a week. I was there super recently.
Mm-hmm.
There are, I don't know how many, but like dozens and dozens of homes that are framed. So like they're, let's say 4 to 6 months away from being done, but all the wood's up, it's been graded, foundations in, and they're waiting to put in windows and stuff like that. Malibu is way slower, way, way, way slower. Topanga didn't get hit that badly by the fire.
Right.
Yeah.
So what about the houses that are already burnt? What are they going to do to those sites?
Well, that's like basically the entire Palisades, like almost the whole Palisades was burned. So first for 6 months they cleaned up the land, like demolished the foundation, did whatever remediation.
It's very toxic. Yeah. I had to wear like that big gas tank or
gas mask.
Gas mask.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Super toxic. All that stuff's been done. So like all of the Palisades has been cleared.
Okay.
And is now ready to be rebuilt. A lot of people who bought in the 70s and 80s in Palisades were not wealthy people. They were, teachers, and it was normal prices back then. Those people, a lot of them can't afford to rebuild. So those people are selling their land. A lot of them are.
Interesting.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So if because I know insurance dropped a lot of people during that time.
Yeah.
And if insurance didn't pay for your home, does the bank cover? How does a mortgage work at that point? Do they stop until?
There were a bunch of. There was I think it was called forbearance.
Forbearance, yeah.
Yeah, there were a bunch of. I mean, I have clients who that happened to.
Okay.
And they had X number of months.
Yeah.
I think it was up to a year, where they didn't have to pay their mortgage, but now they are having to pay.
Right. And back pay too, right?
Yes.
So it's like a lump sum almost.
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. A lot of insurance has paid out. There are a lot of lawsuits against the insurance companies because it's called the California Fair Plan. Now it's not. People think it's like a state plan. That's just the name. It's like Federal Express. It's not like a federal. It's a private company.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
So Fair Plan covers up to $3 million. $3 million total, which means like the value of a home is the actual home standing, and then the land has value too. And so when you could be a $4 million house, you could have it insured up to 3, because 3 is like the rebuild cost, how much it costs to rebuild this house, then potentially rebuild the pool, if there's an ADU, also personal property within the house.
Yeah.
So you want about $100,000 per 1,000 square feet in the house of coverage. I have a friend who lost his house in the Palisades. He was underinsured, unfortunately, and he had super expensive high-tech equipment that burned, and he was covered up to $60,000, and he lost a lot of money because blah blah blah.
So if they drop you, do you have to declare bankruptcy if you can't continue paying for nothing, pretty much?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, you're probably gonna have to, foreclose the house.
Right,
foreclosed
foreclose,
on.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That sucks.
Do you think the government is doing enough to help these people?
No.
What could they do more? Well, because Trump has stopped like a lot of the funding, right? That was supposed to go to
California.
these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what would be helpful? That's a really good question. I would say that was the best question
Thank you.
tonight. Yeah. There should be insurance reform for sure. I mean, there's a lot of shady stuff going on with the insurance companies where,
Right.
you know, if like even if people were covered, but let's say there's a clause in a bunch of insurance agreements where if you were insured 80% or less than the cost of the rebuild, we're actually not going to pay out on your policy. Like you were underinsured, and so you breached your own agreement, which is kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, let's say it's cost $4 million to rebuild the house. You were insured up to $3 million. They're like, well, you technically didn't have enough insurance. That's why there are a bunch of lawsuits happening. I think that's one of the reasons. I think that there has to be insurance reform. I mean, the fire department should be way better funded than it is.
Right.
That's first and foremost. I mean, I don't know exactly what's happening with the fire department, but tax dollars should be, you know, I know that there's an insane amount of fraud when it comes to tax dollars spent on homelessness, like an insane amount from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
That money should be going towards fire, in my opinion. This fire situation is not going to stop in California.
It's going to get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% should be reallocated.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you heard, there's a prop that's
There
out.
was a proposition, yeah.
There's a prop that's out right now. And they're trying to increase our Los Angeles taxes from 9.75 to 10.75, so 1 point. And that additional 1 point is going to go towards fire
Sales
funding.
tax?
Sales tax. Which I'm like, okay, I get putting money towards the fire, but it's like, why not just use the hundreds of $1 million that we already have?
It's not fixing the problem.
It's not fixing the problem. All you're doing is making us pay more money to some bullshit that's probably not going to get fixed anyway.
Totally.
Why can't we just restructure, like you said, the homelessness issue? There's so many problems that we have. It's like we allocate funds towards things that don't even really make sense almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we don't even know where our money's going anymore.
Totally.
So it's like,
At all.
what are we doing here? Why can't we just restructure the tax system? Like, I know it's such an easy thing to do, speaking from a
let's restructure the
25-year-old
entire
man,
US
but
economic tax
yeah,
code.
right. But seriously, that's probably the solution.
Yeah. I mean, just look at property taxes, and especially with, so like the ULA, that 4% tax,
mansion tax, yeah.
is supposed to go towards the homelessness problem.
You're shitting me.
No, I'm not. And like they did research after the first year, very small fraction of the amount. Well, not only so it had a reverse effect of what was supposed to happen. So they were like, we're going to get all this money from all these luxury homes that sell. Also, by the way, most commercial buildings are worth more than $5 million. So like any commercial buildings also getting, like every commercial building is getting taxed. So they were thinking, okay, we're going to have so much surplus from this mansion tax that we'll put towards the homeless. Well, a lot of people were like, we're not going to sell our house. So the money didn't come in. Then the money that did come in, a crazy amount, millions and millions and millions, were spent on administration for this ULA
Bureaucracy,
things, wasted and bureaucracy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for taxing the rich, though. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
You know.
But to be honest, the commercial thing, that makes no sense because that just means the business is making money. The business owns this $5 million property.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, obviously there's somebody at the
you
top.
mean like the wealth groups that own some of these properties?
No, commercial. Like a
commercial
commercial
the building
building.
we're
A
sitting in right
commercial
now.
building, yeah.
So the ULA tax is not just on mansions; it's on commercial buildings
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's what I'm saying. It's like almost like he
okay.
said, almost every single building is over $5 million.
Dollars.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna find a commercial building unless
that's
it's
kinda-
foreclosed
yeah,
on,
that's-
maybe.
Right.
But it's like you're basically taxing every building.
Yeah.
That's every house. Which I mean, in your territory, that's almost every house is in the millions, right? And then
Not over 5 million, but over $1 million.
Over
for
$1
sure.
million,
But,
yeah.
But this is over
but 5 million. Okay,
Yeah.
still a lot. But
Yeah.
probably every commercial building in Los Angeles, Orange County, all of Southern California, it's going to be over 2 million. Probably another 30-40% over me over 5 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. It doesn't make any sense. It's like you're fucking us because you can.
Well, I feel bad for the poorer neighborhoods that were also affected, like Altadena.
Well, Altadena, yeah.
a bunch of other cities,
sure. Yeah.
because they have no insurance. A lot of
Right.
those houses.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which is illegal, but yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're struggling. Like
Yeah.
if Palisades is struggling, the
Yeah, I know.
wealthiest neighborhood, dude. Imagine Altadena. It's probably like they're like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. I don't know. Insurance is such a scam to me.
Absolutely.
It's such
I'm
a
like,
scam.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Dude, we're doing my dad was redoing our insurance, our car insurance. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. And I had a 4 Series BMW and it was like $200. And if he were to have renewed the car insurance, it was gonna go up to like $450, $500 a month. I was like, what the fuck happened?
That's what
Like
crazy.
what happened? And he went to get quotes from like Allstate, State Farm. Same thing. Everybody was at this like super high level. And so I was like, what's the solution? Because I'm not paying fucking $500 a month on insurance. That's insane. And so he had to contact. We had Geico at the time. You know what? Sorry. The issue actually was that Geico wouldn't auto renew our statement. So what they were making us fill out a new policy. And with that new policy, that's when it was going to increase. And there was nobody answering the fucking phone.
Wow.
Nobody was answering the phone. He was calling for months.
This is intentional.
Intentional. I didn't have insurance on my Beamer for like 2 months because of this.
Wow.
And he was calling like every day, and I'm like, what do we do? And so I was like, dude, just click 0, start clicking 9, like any number you can to get somebody on the phone. Eventually, somebody got on the phone, and I was in the background, and I was trying to act sad because I don't have insurance. I was like, what am I gonna do, Dad? Like this and that. And the lady was like, let me just talk to my manager real quick. And then they're like, okay, we'll just renew your policy for you guys, but this isn't like standard policy. I'm like, that's fucking nuts, bro.
Also, something I just found out.
What?
Car insurance companies, when you turn 25,
Yeah.
they don't automatically lower your insurance
They
rate.
don't, right?
You have to call them and be like, I'm 25 now.
Really?
Yeah. I
believe
have to do that.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
I recently got, or like somewhat recently got an insurance broker to basically like, so I did this on cars like years ago where I got like a car broker and I was like, hey, I can get this car for this price. If you can beat this price, I'll give it to you. You just beat the price. And she beat the price, and because she does it in volume and I do one car. Okay. So I did the same thing with insurance where I'm like, okay, cool. Like this is the car. What's the best rate you can do? And then whenever I have any sort of an issue or whatever, I just call her and she just does it.
Really?
And it's always less.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
I can
That makes
give you her
sense because
number
she's basically wholesaling
She's wholesaling.
insurance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
gotcha.
Yeah.
2 last questions for you.
Yes.
What's the biggest life lesson you've learned selling real estate? And then biggest life lesson you've learned selling movies? It could be the same thing if you want, but you know.
So the biggest life lesson I've learned selling real estate, I would say if there's trust between you and your client, everything else will figure itself out. But if there isn't trust, you got way bigger problems. In movies,
It's
Get
gonna
out
be
of
a
the
good
movie
answer. I
business.
can sense it.
Get out of the movie business.
Get out of the movie business. You never go back.
Not full time, no, for
Okay.
sure not. I would say biggest lesson in the movie business is the stress is so high for me. The stress is so high in order to be sane on a day-to-day basis. Fitness, therapy, cold plunges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you guys are addicted to your phones. You have to be.
100%. Yeah.
What's your screen time?
I mean, do you want me to tell
No,
you?
no, no. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's high.
sure. Yeah.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah. What is it? I'm actually curious. Because, bro, I was thinking about this today, right? They have to constantly, part of their job is being responsive as much as possible.
Right.
So they can't afford to not be, they can't
reply.
just go off the grid. Yeah, I'm curious. What is a real estate agent's screen time? Take a guess. What do you think it is, Matt?
Oh my god.
Daily average.
Wait. What's your guess?
I already saw it.
Okay, wait. I'll guess. I haven't seen it. I think it's like 9 hours.
What would you have guessed? You know?
I would have guessed 8+. That's what I
11 and a half.
That's like your waking hours.
Your screen time as a real estate agent is 11 and a half hours.
11 and a half hours, yeah.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
When do you live? Yeah.
I mean, even at the gym,
Wow.
sometimes, like, yeah.
You live through your phone.
Yeah. The times that
That's
I'm
crazy.
100% off are like part of my time at the gym. If I'm hiking, if I'm doing yoga, same thing at the gym. I'm sleeping.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, man. Go ahead. Thank you for coming on the podcast. Anything else you want to say? Where can people find you?
IG at Adam Brower, YouTube at Adam Brower Estates LA, AdamBrowerEstates.com.
Cool. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks so much
Appreciate
for
you.
having me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thanks, man. Pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yes, sir.